Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Crockett Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. I got my man in the building, Donovan Sadiq. I got the Queen, Demetra K. And I am the 5-star general. Say, I call her Little Miss Congresswoman. And I can't wait till she run for Congress and I can vote for her. She don't look like she corrupt, and she look like she gonna take care of the hood. Say, we gonna talk about it tonight. We showcase our baby, so we're gonna get it in tonight, y'all. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for tuning in. Without you guys, we would not have a show. So with that being said, I thank you for taking the time to come and hang out with us tonight. From a news standpoint, I'm up here in Minneapolis and it's getting crunk, man. It's slowly getting crunk. So, you know, we just monitoring everything and we're gonna get out here in these streets and we're gonna make some noise and we're gonna see if we can put them cuffs on Chauvin for the rest of his life. That's what we're trying to do. So Donovan, do your thing, my friend.
Hey, you guys, welcome to the Friday edition, Free Flow Friday edition of the War Zone. We are happy to have you here. And one thing that I love in my system is when I see young people getting involved about their future, because if they did what we did with our parents, they're going to be 50 something years old, still waiting for their parents to step down so that they can have a future if they didn't make it already. So I'm so glad that we have this guest. But in the news today, the judge in the George Floyd case has ruled that no, we're not going to move it. All of these lawyer tricks that they're trying to do to get a delay and all this stuff. He said, you know what? This thing went worldwide. It is what it is. Let's hurry up and get this over with. So that judge in that case said, let's roll. So it's on and cracking in Minnesota. And as far as the narrative that is still going on, as President Biden and Harris immediately have met with the Asian families that were attacked today, how quick they did that. I don't know how long it took them to go to meet with Breonna Taylor. I don't know how long it took them to go meet with George Floyd's family. But they are pushing this Asian hate bill and all this crime. We've been here for 400 and something years, and we can't even get an anti-lynching bill through Congress. So again, you guys stay woke, and I just can't wait to meet this guest that we have tonight. Demetra?
So hello, everybody. I think Gary accidentally kicked himself out, but he will be back in. I'm sure he'll be back in by the time I finish what I have to say. So welcome to Friday night's edition of the War Zone. We are glad that you made it to the end of the week with us. See, I told y'all. But if y'all can do us a favor and share this live so that everybody else can get the information and join in on the conversation, we will most greatly appreciate it. And hey, Pam, I see you found us. Share it because Miss Kyre has a lot that she is going to share with us as to why she's going to be running for Congress when she's able to do that. And so without further ado, I'll give it to Gary.
I'm always impressed with the youngsters. I'm always impressed. And this young lady caught my attention a while ago. She's very, very opinionated. And to find out from her mom that she might one day want to run for Congress, you know, I'm like, man, I got to bring her on. I mean, we bring the stars on here, man. We got to bring her on. And she's a star in the making. So I'm going to show y'all a little bit of how she caught my eye. And then you think about it from there. Hold on just a second. Let me go in here.
Well, a little girl in Northeast Houston wanted to celebrate Christmas in a very different way this year. So she asked her mom if they could hold off on the traditional Christmas tree decorations and instead dedicate their family tree to honor the Black Lives Matter movement. Take a look.
For me, this tree is a big part of my life, and I'm actually really proud of it. I just want people to know and to see that Black Lives Matter it does matter, and it's very important.
You know, Kyre is an amazing kid. When she realized that she was not going to be able to have a Black Lives Matter birthday party, she decided that she wanted a Black Lives Matter Christmas tree.
If I had to choose, I would choose Breonna Taylor. She was in her bedroom sleeping. Like, she was just sleeping and just minding her own business. She didn't even get a chance to say goodbye.
And it was very emotional to even put up the tree and have to explain to her the way that some of these individuals were killed. Individuals that have lost their lives due to gun violence at the hands of police. Black men and women. I think for Kyre being 9 years old, it's been helpful. We've had an opportunity to talk about each of the individuals. I know that she was really concerned that some of her friends of other races may not understand the Black Lives Matter movement or why the tree is significant. But what I shared with her is that even if someone doesn't understand, that's an opportunity to explain it to them.
I just hope that people never forget it.
I lived a life.
That's when she really caught my attention. And I think that her deciding to make that tree, it went viral. They were talking about it all over the country. And I was like, I got to get on. So welcome to the show, Kyre. How you doing? You got to unmute your mic. There you go.
I first want to start off with saying thank you guys so much for having me. It's such an opportunity to be here. But I do want to say that Black Lives Matter does really matter. And like my mom was saying, just because that someone doesn't really understand it, that is an opportunity to teach them about it.
So what inspired you to make your Christmas tree?
So once I saw on like the news about George Floyd, it honestly caught my attention because it's like he didn't do anything. So I wanted to have a Black Lives Matter birthday party, but I just thought that nobody was going to come to that, and I didn't know what to do. So I thought, okay, maybe I could do a Black Lives Matter Christmas tree, because I couldn't have my birthday party as Black Lives Matter.
Okay, well, great. That is awesome. Let me ask you this, Kyre. What made you decide to, the word on the street is you are going to be a congressman, probably the future next president. So why would you want to get involved in politics? Because politics is a pretty rough and tumble business. So could you just tell us a little bit of, I think I kind of know why, because, you know, the older people are messing it up so badly. But could you kind of expound on why do you want to go get into Congress, become the next president?
Well, I saw what my mom was doing, and it kind of inspired me to like do stuff and like change the world. So I started getting a lot of votes, but then I had to see what my mom had to deal with, and then I sort of just like, I was still thinking about it, but at the same time, I'm like, am I really going to be and all that?
First of all, I want to say you are so cute.
Thank you.
Yes, most definitely. And who inspires you? Who inspires you to do what you're doing? I hear you talk about your mom a little bit. Is it your mom that inspires you, or do you draw inspiration from your mom and someone else?
Well, it's kind of my mom and George Floyd, because I am Black myself, so I could imagine what everybody else is like going through, having to deal with like Black Lives Matter and stuff like this. So I saw what my mom had to go through, and I thought that it was really cool that she was actually going to help to change the world.
Well, let me ask you this. What are some of the things that you want to do when, let's say the election's over, you win by a landslide. Oh my gosh, you got the most votes ever. What is your agenda that you want to do and that you want to accomplish once you get there?
One thing that I would want to do is probably stop prostitution and help the homeless people.
Now, wait. Let me ask you this follow up real quick, because you got to get used to these reporters asking you questions, trying to trip you up. That's all part of politics, right? So let me ask you this: what is your stance? What is your Black agenda? What do you believe in reparations? What's your Black agenda?
I
Tell them to explain it more.
I don't really know that.
Come on, Donovan.
Well, no.
On,
okay, no. I'll explain them. It's not a trip up type situation. It's just idea.
She's the first politician that couldn't answer.
Yeah, exactly. As a young Black woman, you're going to get a lot of your votes from Black people. So what are you going to do specifically in regards to helping Black people?
I can make sure that they feel confident about themselves, about everything that's happening in their world. So I can make sure for them to feel confident, for themselves, and make sure that they can stand up for themselves and stand up for other people. And there can be more Black-like colleges.
See, that's the answers I want to hear. That's what I'm talking about.
So let me ask you a question, because you did your Black Lives Matter Christmas tree. And I know what elementary school you go to. And did you get any backlash from anybody because of the tree? Did people give you any problems because you did that particular tree for Christmas?
Nobody actually ever gave me any problems with it. Everybody actually loved it, so.
That's pretty cool, because I'm gonna tell you right now, you sound better than a whole bunch of Congress people that I know that's sitting in office, and more importantly, I think I can trust you. I don't think you're gonna do nothing bad. Um, from a 9-year-old perspective, I'm running for school board, and how do you feel? Do you think at 9 years old, based on what you learn at home, because I know you do a lot of learning at home, educational wise. Do you think at 9 years old that you are getting a decent education when you go into your schoolhouse?
Yes, I do. I think I'm learning everything that I need to know.
Hey, be quiet.
Do you like the STAR test, or do you want me to help you get rid of it?
I like the STAR test.
But you haven't taken it yet.
But that's okay, because I'm gonna get rid of it before she takes it. I don't think we need to take it though. But I think you'd be a great politician. I think you got some good ideas. And have you actually had an opportunity to talk to your congressperson who you may have to replace in a few more years after you grow up, Miss Sheila Jackson Lee?
Have I talked to her?
Have you ever met her before?
I have seen her in person, but I can't recall meeting her.
We need to see if we can get a meeting with her, and maybe she can make you a junior staffer so that you can learn the game from her and you can get ready to take her place in about 9 more years, because you should be running for Congress at 18 years old.
Well, I have a question in regards to her constituents right now. Now, you're in elementary school, I would say, correct?
Correct.
So let's talk about your constituents. Now, the school lunch is terrible, as most kids complain, right? So, we think, now I'm going to talk to you as a constituent of yours. we think 5 days a week of going to school is a little bit too much. Can you possibly do something, maybe go to 4 10s and cut down the school days and make the recesses a little bit longer? And, to do something for, the kids that are actually there, and get us more resources in the school so that we can, play better sports. And here's a big question for you. And this is a really big question for you. As far as sports, the older generation, they've passed bills that let boys play with in girls' leagues and so on and so forth. Do you have an opinion on that?
Well, I think that boys and girls should come together, and I think that it's okay for boys to play girl sports and girls to play boy sports.
Well, see, that's where we have a problem at, because they don't mind the girls playing boy sports, but they don't let the boys play the girl sports. I would have loved to play girls basketball. Demetra?
I mean, I want to say you're doing a mighty fine job. I was kind of like, what should I ask her? Because you're 9, right? You're 9? And then you brought up prostitution and homelessness, and I was like, wow, okay. So you said one of the things you want to get rid of is prostitution. And tell me why you want to do that. What is your knowledge of prostitution?
Well, I see a lot of prostitutes, and that makes me feel kind of uncomfortable, because it's like you can get a job and you could do other things, but it's not okay to sell your body, because that's not okay, because some men pick them up and then kill them and stuff like that.
And then homelessness. What are your ideas to help solve the issue of homelessness?
Well, I do see a lot of homeless people, and I do think about them a lot. And if hurricanes or anything natural disaster that's happening, I will think about them a lot. And I think about how unfortunate it is for them to be out on the streets and not have any type of shelter or food or water to protect them.
Well, I have a quick question for you.
Go ahead.
You're getting into politics. You come from a political home, which is really great. And by the way, I need to. We want to hear a little bit about your family, that family background. But every politician, especially for Congress, needs to answer this question. And you're a bright girl. Do you believe in term limits? Because you get in there at 22, 23 years old. Are you going to stay for 30, 40 years like Sheila Jackson Lee? Or are you going to, do you believe in term limits?
I will stay there for a few years, but I'm not sure about 30, 40 years, because you only have so much life to live. So I feel like politics is a great thing to be in. I feel like it's a great thing to be socially involved, but I feel like I could go on and I could find other stuff to do, but
that is an excellent answer, because I think one of the main problems that we are having in Congress, and we need younger people like you. I'm 50 years old, and you guys, I didn't even get a chance at leadership because my parents and my parents' parents are still in power. So if there's a certain age that you have to be in Congress, shouldn't there be a certain age that you should have to get out of Congress? So I think term limits is something that we need to address.
If people want to stay in Congress for as long as they want to, I don't have a problem with that. But for me, I think I'd probably stay in Congress for about 4 years or so.
I like that. I like that. Well, let me. I know the parents. Both your parents. They're big on helping the community. Do you get a chance to go out because I'm a big up them. I mean, when seniors need food, mom is in the kitchen cooking. I've coordinated with dad to get water to people when the state of Texas froze. Do you get a chance to go out with them and help serve the community?
Well, normally, normally my mom would help out the seniors, and for my 6th birthday, actually, there have been times where I have fed the seniors for my birthday, but sometimes I would get to go with my mom, but not all the time.
See, and she go out there, Donovan and Demetra, and serve the community, and then bring one news camera with her.
So, Kyrie, I don't know if you've heard that in some places they're wanting to raise the voting age, or actually lower the voting age to age 16. Do you also think they should let people run for office at the age 16, since people are able to vote at 16 or potentially be able to vote?
Well, I think that if anybody wants to run for office or vote, I think that they should be able to do that. I think 16 is a little too early to run for office, but maybe about the age about 19 or 20.
So let me ask you this, and I think this is an important question. You know, you're right now you're talking about what you're doing for us in the community. What do you like to do for fun? I mean, you know, I'm just saying, you got a lot of congressmen that get caught up in the wrong places. So what do you do for fun, so that we can like know you as a regular person?
Like in general?
Yeah, just in general.
Well, normally I like to spend my time listening to music, or listening to music, painting, or something like that, or riding my bike.
What kind of music do you listen to?
I like I like to listen to K-pop.
Wait, isn't that Asian type music or something with the groups that dance and everything? Okay, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. As a young woman, what is your take on the women empowerment movement, and you know, what can we do to like bring up the rates of pay? Do you believe women and men should have equal pay?
Yes, most definitely.
Well, why?
Because I've heard about a lot of like women being treated differently because they're women. And back in the old days, it was like men could be teachers and like men could be doctors, and then women had to clean the house, and like I don't have a problem with that, but at the same time, I feel like men and women should like be equal and they should come together.
Absolutely. I'm going to strongly encourage you. I love your answer. I'm going to encourage you as a young woman. There is not enough women that are actually championing issues that deal with young women, and you're the next generation. And I'm going to tell you, keep your path for women, because a lot of other young women are going to look up to you, because you've got a bunch of women in Congress that they vote against bills that equal the pay of women. So, you know, we have to, I have nieces, so we have to, you know, fix that problem within Congress, especially when it comes to women and men.
Well, I want to tell you, thank you so much for taking time out to come and hang out with us. And I'm serious. I'm gonna tell you, I'm serious. When you get ready to run, no matter what you decide to run for, if you still want to run, you call me, and I'm gonna make sure that you win. I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna do what I do, and I'm gonna make sure that you win. The only way that we can fix this world that we live in, we gotta pass the baton on the political side. And it's mandatory that our babies have a voice. And I love your voice. I loved your tree. I love everything about you, because you're not afraid to say what you need to say. So on behalf of me and Demetra and Donovan, we thank you for taking time out and come and hang out with us tonight.
Yeah, please come back and hang out with us. And as things are going, I'm gonna give you the best advice I can give you. Get your name out there as you're running. Stay publicly active, and do that when you get your website and you get your stuff going and your mom and dad guide you where you need to go. Keep your name in the community, because I'm telling you, you are going to make the difference in how we get better representation in Congress and how this world is going to change. So big
But
up to you, and come back to the show.
I got something for you though. I say I'm running for school board, right? And I do rap music. So I done wrote the song. I gotta shoot a video, a music video. Will you be my video girl in my video?
Yes. Yes.
Done deal. You got a date. You my video girl. Make sure you got your lunch on the set, the whole 9 yards, and I'll let you know exactly when we gonna shoot, and you come hang out with me. And when we finish, you'll be the first one to get a copy of it. So thank you, sweetheart. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
See, that right there is why we need to make room for these younger people. I mean, everybody just wants to stay in their seats. And this young lady, she's already being geared to be a leader in the community. And like I said, we know she comes from a political background, family and stuff of that nature, but she's there for the community. She's only 9 right now, but you give that girl, the next few years, and she's going to be seriously awake. Man, you guys think you guys got hurricane now. Wait until this girl gets of age.
Well, D, we free flowing now. So, I mean, where you want to crank it up at? Because I'm sick of these people with Deshaun Watson now. It done went from 6 to 22. 6 to 22.
22. Everybody's just trying to get paid. Everybody's just trying to get paid. At this point.
They doing too much now, bro.
Kyre, get your boy. Get your homie over there. Okay, get your homie.
But the kicker is, nobody wants over $500. But it ain't about destroying his character.
Because to ruin his reputation is priceless, since he doesn't want to play ball for the Texans. You know what? This is just this is laughable at this point. All of a sudden, this is starting to look like Bill Cosby. All of a sudden, 22, abused women are coming out of the woodworks. All of a sudden, like not one of them had a bit of courage before now to say. I mean, not one of them say, "Hey, don't touch me," or not one.
Yeah. That's always been my question. Why do they wait until the rape kit can't be used? They can't gather evidence. None of this stuff. I'm not saying, okay, again, please do not think that we're saying that, if an allegation is out there, it's an allegation. If something did happen, whatever. But how can you prove that if you don't make the allegation at the time of the incident?
It ain't about proving it. It's about trying it in the media. It's about trying this whole case in the media. Yeah, you come up with some Texas, but I mean the Texas don't prove anything to me. And that's why you couldn't take those. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't have no problem with Tony. It's what it is. You're the attorney, you're gonna fight for your clients. I get it. But I can see now why you didn't take those Texas into criminal court. Because they wouldn't be worth a damn at this moment, because they don't prove anything. But to take this young man's career and you do him 100 times worse than you did Kaepernick. Let's just put it out there. Let's get past Bill Cosby. You did the same shit to Kaepernick. You did the same shit to Kaepernick. But in this guy's case, even when it's proven that he didn't, guess what's going to happen? You tarnished him forever. And it's so easy to throw a sexual allegation out there and mess up a man's life. But if I'm Deshaun, you'd have to sue me 100 times over to get some money back from me. You wouldn't get $1 from me, partner. Whatever you gave me, I'm gonna keep that. Donovan.
But let me ask you this, in regards to this, when has it, this culture of the women and even the men in some situations of just getting the bag, when did that become such an acceptable thing to do at all costs to destroy this man's career just to get a quick payday? When did that become the norm in our society now, that instead of maybe working or whatever, we're just going to do the basketball wives thing and just try to get as much money as we can, and all this foolishness that's going on? When did that become the norm now?
The first time one of them decided to pay a settlement just to keep it quiet or make it go away. That didn't mean they did it. They just didn't feel like dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson, you drug him. You see what I'm saying? You drug Mike. But Mike paid settlements, just go on about your business. I don't even want to deal with it. See, we should have never paid him. And now it's the thing to do. So if I knew Demetra in the past, the last couple of years, and I'd have sent her some texts, you know what I'm saying? Then if you're going to release texts, release every text that was ever sent. Because I guarantee you it'll show you something. What they doing to Deshaun, you done went from 2 people, now you all the way up to 22. When did he even have time to think about anything else? He was out there just laying up with masseuses. Bullshit, I call it.
And I just want to, before Demetra gets on here, remember that young football player here in California? His whole life was wrecked. This guy was an NFL prospect. His whole life was wrecked on a woman's allegation. The school board paid the woman and her family. They ended up losing all the money and spending it and stuff like that. Come to find out 8 or whatever years later, she recants the story. It isn't true, but the man missed out on all kinds of stuff. And I'm just saying, why is it that these women feel that they can do all this stuff without any repercussion? It's just so sad. There's just no way. 22 people, come on.
So I was just, I saw that Al said that there was a text, and I just saw it of Deshaun apologizing. And so it's really kind of vague. It says, sorry about you feeling uncomfortable. Never were the intentions. Let me know if you want to work in the future. My apologies. That doesn't say he sexually abused anybody or sexually assaulted anybody. That's very vague. And then Tony Busby says that he has more texts are coming out. Now, this thing happened in, let's see, this text came, so a year ago today, pretty much a year ago today, that text message was out. So it's happened a year ago. Now you got all these women coming forward saying that they were abused by him to some degree and all of that. I mean, that text doesn't say anything. It just doesn't say what was done. I mean, hell, he could have looked at her wrong. He could have sneezed one too many times. I mean, anything could have been meant by sorry for making you feel uncomfortable. We need more, Tony. We need more. Right now, you are let me finish. Right now, you are publicly lynching Deshaun Watson. I mean, you're slowly leaking this stuff out. If you got the goods, put it out there. Don't kill a man, and his reputation in public. Don't lynch him, because that's what you're doing. You're technically, and I'm gonna use the terms of Clarence Thomas, it's a technical lynching, because you all have the power and the medium to do so via the Texans. But these text messages didn't come out before he wanted to be free of the Texans. And now all of a sudden, he's got all these women. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Excuse my French.
Tadarius Robbins said, he also said he contacted HPD today and they denied that as well. You can't take that shit in the criminal court. The judge gonna laugh at that. But here's the thing. This a heavyweight fight here, Donovan and Demetri. Rusty Harden, who done represented Jeff Bagwell, Roger Clemens. We go on and on. Versus Tony Busby. Mr. Busby, I think you're out your league with this one. Because Rusty don't lose. He just don't lose. And this is a joke to me, what is being done to this man. And to say that you live next door to the McNairs and don't know them. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Is you serious?
Yeah.
He live next door to the McNabbs?
Yeah.
If you live next door to somebody famous, wouldn't you know it?
Or at least a major owner, you know, somebody that's major ownership. I mean, come on.
This is some real BS right here. This is some real.
You didn't know that?
Well, I knew they knew. Somebody who knows him, and I'm not going to say who knows Tony, told me that that he's friends with the McNairs. So
you can best believe Rusty gonna bring it out in court.
So it's like, whoo, the insult.
Well, you know, he's a lawyer. He's gotta fight the best for his client. And sometimes they gotta fight dirty and do what they gotta do. But again, it isn't a criminal case because like the 5-star said, that would be laughed right out of the court. But it's just the idea of $500. So by suing for $500 and ruining this man's reputation is going to do what?
Put hey Earl, how you doing? Can you put his question up? It's the last question that I see on the feed from our view. How you doing, Mr. Jones? He says, how much will Black Houstonians pay the Texans while they are lynching a Black man for wanting to leave the plantation? How many Black people who go to the Houston's games or the Texans games and, you know, they all of that, how many of y'all gonna sit your Black asses down while they lynch this Black man? I want to know. Raise your hand.
Well, Demetri, look, I'm just going in there just to get me some zigzags. That's all. I know I'm with the protest. I just want to go in there and just get a jersey and I'm good. That's it. Nah,
you can't be lukewarm. You got to be in or you got to be out. Because you as Black people cannot continue to complain about how our Black people are done and continue to funnel money into the hands of the people that are doing the wrong to our people. At some point in time, you got to say, I know that's my favorite team. I really love to go do this, that, and the other, but I'm taking a stand with my people. When are we as Black people going to get on code and say there's not enough right in the world for me to go to any of these games? When will you do it?
This a cold game they playing. Here's the thing. You only shoot for the 500 because the Texans know that no matter what, X amount of his money is guaranteed. It's guaranteed. You've already took care of that. It's nothing they can do about it. Except if he violates the morality clause of his contract. If he violates that, then they can get their money back. So here's the thing. I'm an investigator by nature. Y'all know I do this for real, right? I find something really strange. Now, y'all normally ride with me. I make it make sense. Where you find these 22 people at? When you first started, where did you find the 6? How did all 6 of them know to contact the same attorney? I'm only asking because, you know, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I'm 2 sandwiches short of a picnic. How did they know how to contact the same attorney? The Houston Texans should be ashamed of their goddamn self. And Deshaun, I will say this to you, brother. You might have to pull a Kaepernick on this one. If you never put on another fucking uniform, no, make them put some respect on your name, homeboy. Make them put some fucking respect on your name. And guess what? The money is a civil issue, Deshaun. If you never decide to play again and they sue you, we want our money back. Tell them fuck them. And don't give them shit. And ain't nothing they can do about it.
You know, I kind of wonder, you know, 22 people. So you mean to tell me out of these 22 people, nobody has the wherewithal or the ethic to say, I believe in karma and this might come back onto me if these, you know, these are false allegations, which I think they're false allegations. I'm going on record and I'm saying, I believe this is bullshit and it's false. They don't want this man out of his contract, the second biggest contract in NFL history. The money is guaranteed. This is how they're going to do it with the morality clause. You're absolutely right, pinning that down. But as Black folks, when are we going to take a stance against all this bullshit? We know this is bullshit. We know the Asian violence thing that Black people are perpetrating it is bullshit. When are we going to take a stand? And then once again, as far as the Asian stuff is concerned, I haven't heard not one Black representative defend us in the national news. Not one.
I want to go to Al's comment regarding Deshaun. He says, Deshaun found the massage therapist on IG. Sports radio says, sources say maybe he had a fetish. But what I want to do for just a hot second is dissect something. Why is it that when people put something out there, especially about us, we start to draw all these narratives that, you know, oh, maybe he had a fetish. Oh, maybe this, maybe he contacted the massage therapist on IG and got a massage. Why does it need to be a fetish and this, that, and the other? See, and that's the thing. Like Dr. Claude Anderson says that we own less than 3% of the media, and the other 90% of the media, they form these narratives about us as Black people, and we continue to further the narratives by trying to say, oh, maybe he has a fetish. Well, I don't know now. But before these women came out, nobody knew if he had a fetish or not. Nobody was even talking about Deshaun like that. But all of a sudden, well, maybe he has a fetish. I don't know. You don't know anything because you weren't there. You know, and it's somebody else's word against another. I mean, who's to say that she kept it, obviously, right? She kept the text for over a year. How many of y'all keep text messages for over a year unless it's somebody, you know, extra special or whatever? How many of you do that? Most of us delete our text messages. And so that text message is, see, I'm going to go back and get my law degree. That text message is very vague. That can imply anything. So she holds on to it. So who's to say, you know, she didn't look at the text and she showed it to somebody else and they said, oh, well, girl, you know, you could use that. And a whole year later, here we are trying to figure out if he got a fetish or not. Be smarter than that.
Yeah, trying to get a payout and let this go out to all these young athletes and stuff. I'm not saying don't go to the strip club, don't go have a good time, but that culture, you know, your profession is your profession. Make as much money as you could possibly make because it only takes one injury to end it all. And I just don't think to give hypothetically $5 million, 5% of everything that you earn to a bunch of scallywags on an allegation, that's a waste. That's just a big waste of money.
Hide the women and children. If you don't want my dick to get hard, don't get the rubbing down now. Massage or not, you rub too far up on them nuts, that thing gonna stand up. It's gonna stand up on you. And I ain't apologizing for being normal. At least you know I ain't on them blue pills at that time.
You know, and that brings up a good question. See, that brings up a good question. If you're in a profession that does professional massages, wouldn't that be part of the curriculum of how to deal with a customer that might be aroused or something like that? Doesn't that come with the job? That's almost like saying I'm we talked about it earlier, being a prostitute, but I don't have sex. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. Make it make sense, Demetra.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get into that because, I mean, you could very well be a massage therapist and accidentally rub down there. That doesn't mean that, and I'm not saying he did it. Doesn't mean that you should be assaulted. I've had a massage or two, and, I could see how maybe some touches here or there could be misconstrued, like, so I can see that. Again, a massage is a very intimate thing. You're lying on the table. You only have your underwear on or whatever, your comfort zone is. So, I mean, a lot of things can be drawn from there, but I don't know. I want to go back to Mr. Jones's point. We as Black people, I mean, are we going to stand for it? Are we going to continue to go to those games? And Al, I'm going to throw you out there. You said you're a season ticket holder since 2006, and I know that you are.
Al is a silent owner, okay? He doesn't want to say nothing, but I'm looking at the record. I want to see the tax records. Al owns a percentage of the Texans.
Are you going to stand with your boy in solidarity, or are you going to stand with the good old boys? Since you put it out there.
And I'm going to say the same thing with this Asian stuff. It's just like we said on yesterday and on these shows that we keep doing. If we're going to be disciplined enough to boycott the Texans and their bullshit, we should be disciplined enough to help these Asians, since they're scared of us, and stop going into their businesses. So, they can just pack up and go, or just, we just stop supporting them and let's see how the narrative changes.
Well, in regards to Errol's comment, I'm going to tell you how this is going to work. They're going to be right back out there. Them Negroes going to be right back out there. The one thing about them is, see, I'm an old Oiler fan. When they didn't want to build them a stadium, but when you got the Texans, you built the stadium, but you didn't want to build them a stadium, you ran the motherfuckers out of town. I ain't never fucked with you from day one. I go all the way across country and fuck with the 49ers before I fuck with y'all. You ain't never won shit. You know how to fuck a game off that you're leading 42 points to nothing on. And them Negroes gonna run right back out there and blame it on the fact that we ain't no football like talking about. They gonna go right back out there to that foolishness. These people already, if they could put a whites only sign on Reliance Stadium, that's what the fuck they would do. All you Black folk, all you Latinos running out there spending up all your motherfucking money. And this how they do your quarterback? This how they do this black man? Deshaun, I know you can't really say what you want to say. I say it for you. Fuck the Houston Texans.
Right. And then let's just think about the plantations all throughout the NFL, all the different plantations out there. Why is it that you have these athletes, these super athletes, a lot of them coming out of Yates High School, that get into the NFL and they try to leave the plantation or they want to buck the system, and all of a sudden Massa, who doesn't like it, is going to use all their resources just to destroy these young folks. I mean, it's just crazy,
Let me tell you something, man. In the state of Texas, one of the best owners of any team is Mark Cuban. One, he gonna let his Mavericks retire Maverick. When he see one of his guys out there used to play for him and he out there on the dope, he gonna go out there himself and go pick him up. He gonna get them some help and some treatment and help them get back on their feet. Mark Cuban does a lot for his players that ain't got shit to do with basketball. You see what I'm saying? Tillman Ferretta, on the other hand, likes to walk around crime scenes where crooked cops kill innocent white people. And your fucking team can't win a game if the other team didn't show up.
I mean, Jerry Jones, he's one of the biggest plantation owners out there, and we haven't won a game in 26 years. Haven't won a championship in 26 years. So, I mean, it's just a prevalent thing. I think that, like I said, these sports franchises depend on Black dollars to keep it going. They depend on the black players to keep it going. Nobody comes to go see what, I guess 70% of the NFL is what, black? 70% of the NBA is black? I mean, it just is what it is. We are the talent. Some of us are now becoming owners. But think about this. The NFL's been around for what, 80 years? Something like that, 80, almost 100 years. There's still no black ownership in the NFL of an NFL team, even though all these great black athletes help make it billions and billions of dollars.
Well, what happened to the black league that a few of the players were trying to form? Remember, it was like a couple years back, a couple of the football players were trying to form a league. I guess they had it for maybe, I don't even know if it lasted a year or whatever. I just want to know, when are we going to start getting wrapped up into being included in their stuff? When are we going to get to a point to where we say, hey, you know what? We got the talent. Let's take our ball and our money and form our own leagues. I mean, when are we going to stop hoping and wishing that white supremacy stops being that, and finally say, okay, we're going to let a Negro come in here and call some shots? They're never going to do that. And so I'm with Earl. We keep seeing, them do our black players like that. Kaepernick, most recent example of how they've done him. And now here's Deshaun, who, was squeaky clean up until this point, and now all these women is hopping out the damn closet, talking about, I felt uncomfortable. Do you know how ambiguous that is? I remember one time in Donovan, he was running for office. His opponent, we went to see what she was talking about. She wouldn't let us in. So we went and sat at the bar, the club, or the restaurant she was having it at. So her campaign manager comes up to us and says, well, she wants you to leave. Now, she's a Hispanic woman. She wants you to leave because, he's making her uncomfortable. I said, oh, really? How is he making her uncomfortable? Do tell. She couldn't explain it. I said, do you know what that sounds like when you say that to a black man, that he's making a white woman or a Mexican woman uncomfortable? She looked like she saw a ghost because she didn't think I was going to go there with her. So that's what they do. They throw that out there. I'm uncomfortable. I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah, and the funny thing about that, Dimitri, remember, I was just a constituent. I didn't go nowhere near. I was just in the room. All of a sudden, she's uncomfortable and asking us to leave.
But that's what they do, though.
I want to expound on Errol's comment. I'm going to put it up, Donovan. It might cover you up for a second. If we boycott all products, still attend the games, but boycott the merchandise, shit, I guess, should still sit on the shelf. Force all the teams to come together and discuss the Watson Texan situation. I disagree with you. Stop going to the fucking games. Let me tell you why. Let's say they average 70,000 people. If you got $1 for each ticket, you'd make $70,000 that day. Am I correct? All right. You ain't gonna buy the merchandise, but you're still gonna buy the fucking food. You see what I'm saying? No, don't go. Those tickets are not $1. Do you know how much these folks make on one football game? Damn near $20 million fucking dollars. Stop going to the games. Become disciplined. If we'd have stopped going to the games, Kaepernick would be an NFL quarterback. They need us to come to them games. Stop going to pregame in the parking lot and barbecue, and they charging you for all that shit. When you go to the game, you got to pay to park. You know how much they make off parking alone? Fuck them people, man. They shitting on this youngster, dog. And that's why they keep doing it, because we are not willing to go to the extreme. But they will go to the extreme to fuck over him. I've never met Deshaun Watson in my life, but I'd love to meet him right now. Say, man, fuck them people.
Do you know what's crazy? That stadium was built with tax dollars, and these owners make hand over fist in money, and they gave the city part-time jobs. We have the same brand new stadium here.
Never won a goddamn thing.
Right. Maxine Waters District, we have the Rams and the Charger Stadium there. They moved all the people out of the neighborhood, charged the city using tax dollars so that an owner can have a stadium that he makes millions and billions of dollars off of, and offers us part-time work, seasonal work with no benefits.
We have to become disciplined. That's all it boils down to. Deshaun Watson, if black people told the Texans, fuck them, Deshaun, they'd throw that shit up out of there. Deshaun wouldn't be going through none of this if the nigga stopped going up to that stadium. Y'all running up to that motherfucker on Sunday like they really got a vaccine at that bitch. Say, man, they gonna keep disrespecting us because we not willing to stand up for each other. We not willing to. Tell me where Cal McNair stay. I'll show you. I stand up for Deshaun. Deshaun ain't did nothing but good since he touched down in the city of Houston. But y'all don't get it. When that boy put that X on his back with Black Lives Matter, they was gonna come get him. They was gonna. Let's get this straight, man. Give a damn if they got a black coach. They don't want no black motherfucking NFL quarterbacks, man. If they did, it would be far more of them in the league. If they did. You got some motherfuckers sitting on some benches, third stringers, that can't hold Kaepernick's dirty fucking draws. But yet they still out there before him. If y'all don't see it, you just don't see it, man. Man, give me an address to Cal McNair, man. I protest that bitch in front of the house every day.
Yeah,
Fuck him.
Well, let me ask you this, 5-star. A former NFL MVP in Cam Newton, how does this man get a minimum contract? He's a former MVP, played in the Super Bowl. I know he's got some injuries and stuff, but how do you offer him a minimum contract for 1-year contract, but yet if he was another persuasion, he's getting a minimum of at least $15 million guaranteed? I mean, this is how they do our folks.
Well, I think I could change it a little bit. Because I'd be all in front of Cal McNair house looking at that motherfucker like this, looking at his wife. Bitch, what y'all gonna do about that boy, man? Huh? All day, every day, clowning they motherfucking ass. River Oaks, they gonna go to jail. I ain't going to no motherfucking jail. I can protest in River Oaks just like I do anywhere else. You gotta stand up for him, man. He's defenseless right now with what they doing to him. This ain't designed to get his money. They know they couldn't get his money. This is designed to tear up his character and his reputation.
Absolutely. And, you know, Gary, you hit on something very important. We need to start becoming disciplined. We got to get past the, oh, well, it's my favorite team. And, oh, I'm just going to miss out on a good time. And, oh, what am I going to do? Read a book. Okay? Educate yourself. Learn what it means to stay on code. Stand with your people. That's what you should be doing. Like, why? I wouldn't even feel comfortable going to a place where I know they are publicly lynching a black man. And if you go to that stadium, you are witnessing the public lynching of a black man and you're paying to do it. Does that make sense? At some point in time, we just have to get it. You know, like I always say, we don't have the heart that our ancestors had when they were doing the bus boycott and all of that. They didn't mind walking to work for over a year. Sacrificing. We don't sacrifice. We don't want to come outside of our comfort zone. We won't sacrifice not go to no football games. We won't sacrifice to stay out of these Asian stores. We won't sacrifice to shut down these stores in our neighborhoods that abuse us. We won't sacrifice enough to where we hold our vote or whatever until these murderous police officers stop killing us cold blood in the middle of the street. We are not disciplined to do any of that. We don't want to come out of our comfort zone. We want to be in, you know, where I'm going to let somebody else do it and all of that. But at some point in time, we just got to get it. It's either now or never. And we as Black people are running out of time. I bet you they wouldn't do that to no Hispanic player, a beloved Hispanic player. They wouldn't do it to no white player. They wouldn't do it to anybody but us, because they know that we don't give a shit about our own people. We like the good time instead of staying on code.
Man, they ain't do it to Ben Roethlisberger, and he took some pussy. He took the pussy. He ain't grab him. He took it. And they ain't do that shit to him. You don't hear nothing about that white boy in Seattle beat that sister up. Nothing. You don't hear nothing about Andy Reid's son that killed somebody before the Super Bowl. We need to stop spending our money in everything, and we can fix everything. But you know what? When Deshaun giving away that money, every Black politician in town riding his dick. But ain't none of y'all standing up for him right now. Ain't none of y'all bold enough to just stand up and say this is bullshit. So I applaud Stephen A. Smith on ESPN. It's bullshit. Because it don't take a rocket scientist to figure out what the fuck you're doing. You're trying to destroy his morality to save a fucking signing bonus so it don't count against the cap. Stephen A. and Max Kellerman say this is bullshit. And we know it is. Deshaun, you got a soldier in Gary Monroe. Tell me where that motherfucker live at. I bet y'all be looking at his wife like this here through the back door. What's wrong with him? On that crack, bitch.
And Errol, I should say, you say, if I was white and on the gate, I would be thinking, look at these stupid Negroes coming through the gates. I would be too, like, damn, they don't have no, we can do whatever we want to do with anyone. And they just keep coming back. They want to be in, they want to be amongst white folks so bad. They sell out their own. And I stood with Kaepernick the whole time. I've been invited to games and I'm like, I'd rather not. I don't want to do it, for whatever reason. But yeah, I mean, we just continue to take it. We don't care.
Errol say make the protest easy for the people. It don't need to be easy. It need to be just as hard as it needs to be. I'm gonna put it out there. If you're a Yates Lion, stop fucking with the motherfucking Texans. You remember what Deshaun did for our kids last year? He didn't have to do it for them kids. You a Yates Lion, don't fuck with them. I don't even watch that shit no more. And I'm a football player, and I done conditioned myself not to watch that shit no more, man. So I can't tell you why Cam fell off. I can tell you don't bet against Brady in January, though. I can tell you that. But as far as watching like I used to, I don't fuck with it. I don't fuck with it. Because what they did to Kaepernick, they repeating it just a different way with Deshaun.
But what does that tell you when you're you're on the plantation and they have to bring in tales from the dark side from dudes that just didn't do the right thing with their money? You got to tell these rookies you only need one house, you only need one car. I mean, this is how they think of us, as almost as if we're infantile, like children. And, we're going to trick our money off. We're going to do that. For them to set up these type of programs, this is exactly what they think about us. Yeah, you went to college, you left early, whatever. But, we all know athletes don't really get an education, so they say. Not all of them, but some of them do. They go through the system. But right there, it tells you what they think of Black folks. I mean, this is no different than what was going on in the plantation almost 200 years ago. It's almost the same exact scenario.
What we need is, because I see Errol, we need a logo. We need is a logo, and that we can all share on our social medias or whatever, profile pictures, your cover pages, or whatever. Something like I stand with Deshaun Watson. You know,
or
we
you could put them 3 letters up, Demetri. You could have it up like this here, the 3 letters NFL. The thing in front of that bitch. Fuck you.
Yeah, we need a logo. We could pass it around, you know, and get the word out about what they doing to our brother. You know, they been, and you know, I know Tony Busby's been on the show, but Tony Busby, he's willing to take up the mantle to destroy a black man. For whatever reason, he says he doesn't know the McNairs, but you live next door to him.
I find that hard to believe.
I like I said, somebody told me that they are personal friends, so I ain't gonna say who it is, but either it's true or it's not true. And I just find it hard to believe that all these people now talking about you live next door and you friends with them, but you didn't know that. Come on.
Wait a minute. You're down in the 4th largest city of Houston, oil and gas and, you know, power center of the United States. You're a high-powered attorney, ex-Marine. And so you're telling me some of the circles that he runs in, he never ran across this man, even though you don't know the millionaire, billionaire next door to you. You don't know him. You've never run across this man in the circles that you travel. Come on now. Come on.
Ain't never sat in the box seats at all, or, you know, none of that. I mean,
never been invited over to look at the, you know, the plan for the next season, or come during the Columbine, you know, to watch the up and coming players.
Yeah, it's just hard to believe. But either we gonna get on code or we not. I'm sick of talking about it, to be honest with you.
I'm gonna ask this here because maybe, you know, Donovan asking a question. Tony, so you telling me you had a fundraiser at your house for Trump? One of Trump's biggest supporters wasn't there? McNair wasn't there? Come on, bro. I ain't finna plead with a motherfucker. Give me that address. Drop me off Uber style. I create a homeless encampment in front of that motherfucker.
And not only that, you know, per his statement, he needs to stand for what's right, and this needs to be stopped, this behavior. But it's like you had a fundraiser for the biggest kitty cat grabber, in American history. But yet you didn't see fit to hold him accountable, huh? What's the difference? Is one orange and one black? I mean, what's the difference?
And then we know when you're in a power area like that, these major corporations and people who are big owners, they want to know who are the best attorneys in the area. So I just find it hard to believe that Tony Busby isn't known by the movers and shakers down there in Houston, Texas. He ran for mayor, for Christ's sake.
What else going on?
Everything's going on.
Well, one of the things that is going on is Kamala Harris and Joe Biden ran to hug and console the Asian people that were families that were killed down there in Atlanta. And because of that, they are trying to expedite the anti-Asian discrimination bill on the House floor. They're trying to get that bill up and going and voted on. Now, here's the kicker. We can't even get an anti-lynching bill or a vote on reparations, but immediately they can get this bill done. So this is what they're doing.
The governor is fast tracking a bill down in Texas in reference to voter fraud. So all that driving through that y'all did in that last election, and they got the votes on the floor. They gonna pass it. They finna squash all that mail-in ballot. They finna kill all that. Well, hold on a second. Wasn't I in a room with one of the people that co-authored the bill about 2 weeks ago, Briscoe Kane? I told y'all them people got something for y'all. Y'all playing up.
Yeah, and then speaking of a bill similar to that, the Democrats are putting out a bill trying to get it to the floor in regards to anybody that says, don't vote, or whatever the deal is, they're going to make that a some kind of misdemeanor or a crime. What was that, Demetria, earlier today?
HR1.
Yeah, HR1.
Yeah, HR1. Basically, and I'm reading. I was actually looking at right now. So when someone said that if you run around 60 days before the election saying hold the vote, you can be fined, or something like that. And it is a bill. HR1 is a bill that has been put forth by the Democrats, which is no surprise, right?
You shouldn't run around and say hold the vote. I give them a new way to do it. You can get around it. Hold the vote and these nuts in your mouth.
See, but that's the funny thing, though. These are Democrats putting up legislation to keep you from voting your conscience or what you want to do. And we are always jumping on the Republican bandwagon, and they shouldn't be doing what they're doing. But I've said this for years. What is the difference between these two parties? There's really no difference. It's all a bunch of games. They pass what they want to pass when they want to pass it. As simple as that.
I tell you, man, it's been a hell of a year. From last year up to now, it's been a hell of a year, man. And I think it's only going to get, I say get better, and I mean that in the worstest way. Because right now these people are in session and all over the country, and these folks is putting all kind of dumbass bills through that don't make no fucking sense. And if you get in the police face and you say something, you going to jail. I hope you got the bread and water ready. Because Gary Monroe got something to tell the motherfucker every chance I get. I don't care. Say, man, Demetri, y'all look at y'all don't really hang out with me in the streets. I'm a motherfucking outlaw. I'm like Josie Wales. I'm an outlaw. They don't like me. I don't like them. I buck the system. I buck the system. A lot of people been like, Monroe, you got to ease up on the Asian community. All I said is I ain't fucking with y'all. Y'all don't stand up for us. You don't go to war for us. So I need to go to war for them. Now, you ain't never heard me tell you, don't you do nothing for them Asian people. I said I'm not fucking with y'all. I got every right to tell you that. Demetri, you ain't even know this, did you? I tell a bunch of black folk that shit every day. I ain't fucking with y'all either. So, like I say, man, everybody got something going on, but when I jump on that plane, try it. I bet you the plane don't crash that I'm on. I bet you that motherfucker don't crash. These people need help right now. And we need to get some nuts and stand up for each other. That baby that was on here earlier got more guts than a whole bunch of grown folk. She got more guts. But whether it's John or whether it's the dude around the corner or the old lady that live up the street, we are brothers keepers. We are our brothers keepers, man. And we keep allowing these people to slap us in our face. Not me. I ain't taking it no more.
I just got some inside information. Somebody just told me that at Deshaun's rookie year that they actually put Tony Busby up on a jumbotron as an ambassador. Now, how do you do that if you're just regularly attending the game unless you know somebody?
You can tell a black person anything because a white person says it, it's most likely true. But when a black person says it, it ain't true. But that just goes to show you how they think about us. Just put it out there. Negroes will go with that narrative, period.
There's a lot of people that want him to be guilty. I keep telling y'all, man, and you've heard me say it before. Pac didn't rape that girl. Mike didn't rape that girl. They in a position they don't have to. But then once, you lay that wood to them and You know, you tell them get the fuck out your room, then they want to go outside the room and call them people talking about you done took something from them. Now, come on, man. It don't go down like that, bro. Deshaun Watson, since he's been here, has been a stand-up guy. It is what it is. But I also said when he first came, stay away from these scandalous motherfuckers, man. You will get you. It's either two things gonna happen to you in Houston if you're a sports star, Miss Dimitri. You either gonna get caught up with them hoes, or you gonna have back injuries from fucking with them hoes. Tracy McGrady back, blow the fuck out. Everybody come here get a back injury because you got to put a hump in it. You can't just stand up straight. I know you want to stand up in it. You can't just stand up in it all the time. You got to put a hump in your motherfucking back.
I'm just telling you, man, you know, I mean, just the foolishness that we're so into. And then we wonder when you see these guys, oh, you were in the NBA, you know, maybe went on a rookie contract, got injured, whatever. And then he comes back and he's penniless because we don't support these athletes. We don't support the athletes, but we support the slave master.
Some of these folk, man, men and women, you superstars, man, they run all up at the table on you. You won't give you no space. You know, I couldn't be that mega superstar. This motherfucker won't leave me alone, huh? Okay. Come on to the room, little mama. I'm gonna pee on you, shit on you, everything. Since you come and fuck with me, you steady fucking with me. That's what be happening to him. Kobe Bryant didn't rape nobody. That girl kept messing with me. So when he took in that room, he went in the wrong one. Can't stand up in it all the time. Hump in back.
How did we get here? How did we get here? Well, let's get
Wait. So the question is this, Dimitri: is Al gonna forfeit his season tickets?
Now you riding with Deshaun. Al got tickets to the Texan game. Yeah, we putting you out there, Al. I bet your 6'3" ass gonna be at home because I'm gonna be fucking with you on Sundays. I'm doing special war zones on Sundays when the Texans play. Al gonna burn up his tickets. Am I right? Your PLS is going away, huh? You gonna stand up for Deshaun. That's a beautiful thing. He said no. Demetri, do you need to call Walter? He has frequent fly miles.
Listen, I'm trying to find the best way to say this. Sometimes the raccoon is so strong in people, they just can't let it go. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Girl, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I used to have pornographic tendencies. And every now and then it just hit me. Whoa, it just hit me. And I go back to pornographic style. Oh, just like that.
Okay. Well, Al says he's gonna give up the parking passes. Okay, good. See, he's giving up something.
So basically he's gonna park down the street at the apartments. They charging motherfuckers to park in the apartments on game day. That don't count, Al. Can we get a video of Al burning a jersey?
And therein lies the problem with us as Black people. We just can't see doing it. FOMO, fear of missing out. I just got to be up in there.
For what though? They ain't never won shit. The motherfuckers ain't never won nothing. And I'm gonna be honest with you, ain't like they had no hell of a team to win anything. They ain't never won shit. Everybody get away from them, win a Super Bowl. The whole motherfucking team left and won a Super Bowl for these cocksuckers here. How long they been in the building? 20-something years? The best thing happening in that motherfuckers in February when the rodeo come through. At least you know it's gonna be some shit around that end with all them fuck ass horses. I'm just telling you, them motherfuckers ain't gonna win nothing. The Texans have crippled many of players. They fucked that boy David Carr whole career off. Man, this man got sacked more than a motherfucking gallon of motherfucking juice in a bag. The fuck? And now you want Deshaun to go out there with this old patched up ass line you got and have this motherfucker on SSI next week. Man, that man said, fuck you, I ain't going. So now you want to act like he raping the city. Man, please. Come up and I go get a massage. I had one massage. And I say I ain't going back. Why?
And you know what's
I'm gonna stand up.
You know, speaking of these alleged victims, have they shown who these ladies are that are making these allegations? Because if it was a black chick, she would have been on all the platforms and stuff and throwing it out there.
Ain't nothing but a bunch of Wilma Flintstones and Betty Rubble's been in front of the camera so far. Deshaun.
For real?
Just put your jersey on. Go down there on South Mo and Alameda. You're gonna see a bunch of smoke. It's called a turkey leg hood. Just get out the car. And they gonna start chunking pussy like you a foreign star. They do that to niggas just from around there that got a job. And a dude with 156 million? Man, that man ain't got to take no ass. None. Give me 156 million. Watch what I do. I ain't even going, and I'm just being honest with you. I done been to them Asian salons and all that stuff. Say, man, it is what it is, man. It go down, baby. That's all. It go down.
Well, I mean, think about it. We've been in a pandemic for over a year, so you know they got to make that extra.
They make that extra when it ain't the pandemic. It go down in the Asian massage parlor. Go down. I'm telling you what go down in there. They got one right next door to Harlem Nights. Right next door to Harlem Nights. And you can always tell it's the Asian massage parlor because the motherfucking blinds stay closed. Even in the daytime. You can't see in there. You lay me on that motherfucking table. If it don't stand up, you need to throw me out this motherfucker. Final thoughts, Ms. Demetra.
My final thoughts are, over the weekend, we should all study and learn what it means to be on code, okay? Stand together as Black people so we can finally accomplish something. Other than that, we'll just continue to endure the nonsense we're enduring. Like I said, I really stand at a football game, they publicly lynching a Black man.
Bluetooth connected.
Final thoughts, Donovan.
Absolutely. We need to start standing on code, and we need to be more disciplined if we're going to do something. If we're going to do it, let's do it all the way. I don't like to get involved in shit that peters out, or we're just going to do half the stuff. Let's get in there and get the job done and show these people what we're really about. And again, we want to thank you guys for donating. A lot of y'all got y'all stimulus check. There is no excuse why you can't donate to the 5 Stars Generals campaign to be on the Houston School Board. Let's get our candidate on there, and let's get our kids somebody there that's going to look out for them, so you parents ain't got to be called down to the school over some bullshit.
It's my old school homie here, Bo Mayberry, man. Grew up basically with this dude in Third Ward. Man, look what he say when I said that about that Asian massage parlor next to Harlem Night. True. I've been there too back in the day. Say it, go down up in there, man. You can go to the Asian side or you can walk next door to Harlem Night, and you know what it is when you go up in there. They're naked. Either one I go to, I'm getting bucket naked. And it's going to go down from there. Say it's a reason why we the best in the business. It's the war zone, baby. I want to thank my good friend, Donovan Sadiq, the Queen, Demetri K, and I am the 5-star general. Next Saturday, man, we got our monthly virtual fundraiser. Next Saturday, 3 o'clock. We going hard in the paint, man. We got to raise some money. So if you got your stimulus, I need you to save a little something for next Saturday. We got to do what we got to do. And Deshaun Watson, let your nuts hang, big homie. Let your nuts hang, big homie. Until Monday, we'll holler at you.